What's going on, party peeps? Welcome to an episode of the Huddle. I am your host today, Monica D. Livingston. That's right. Normally, I am joined by my wonderful co-host, Lois Cook, but Lois isn't here. In fact, Lois is going to be here sometimes. Sometimes I'll be on the road. Sometimes it'll be both of us. We're just going to do the best that we can to bring you an incredible show, but she is not here with me today. Before we get too far in it, I want to thank DC Radio and the Believe Podcast Network. DC Radio 96.3 HD4, baby. Yes, thank you for having us. We appreciate everyone at the station. We also appreciate our wonderful, handsome, smart, smooth like butter producer, Shane Lewis. Thank you, Shane. Yes, give it up for Shane. And we appreciate the entire DC Radio team that works with Shane, and of course, our over 500,000 DC listeners. Now, if you're not in the DC area and you're listening on the largest DC sports podcast network, Believe Podcast Network, then know that we appreciate you as well and believe in delivering a great show each and every week for you. See what I did there? Believe in was spelled differently. But anyway, no matter where you listen, please subscribe and rate the show. Don't forget, we are available on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Luminary, TuneIn, and all of our social media platforms. You can find my social media platforms on my website at monicadlivingston.com. Most of them are just Livingston3636. You know, I'm trying to sneak in that little jersey number I had back in the day any way that I can. So let's get into it. On this week's episode, we wanted to try to check in to see how everyone's new year is going and kind of just give you a preview trailer, if you will, of what's to come this season number 3 on the Huddle with Mo and Lo. We're going to be bringing you great guests that have excelled in the business world, but also in the athletic space. And sometimes how they've merged those two things together to have even greater success. And just like we do all the time, you need to listen to the show with the intent of, like, when it's over with and when it's done, I'm going to have some actionable tools to level up my life, to be better, to be inspired. Yeah, we're going to talk some smack. We're going to have some fun because that's how I get down. We're going to talk sports as well. But I also want you to leave here going, okay, I feel better. I feel better prepared, and now I'm ready to go tackle today. So we're going to be doing some new segments like the Sports Spotlight. We're going to do some lifestyle and entertainment stuff, listener playbook moments that come directly from you. And of course, I will be continuing to level up with Livingston, bringing you that segment complete with 6 tips from your very own, that's me, from 3-6. These tips are actionable tips, things you can do immediately to get a win in your day, your week, or just switch up that hour. Okay. So, you know what? Why not get it right? Why don't we start right there? Here is your leveling up with Livingston. 6 tips from 3-6. That's what we're doing. 6 tips from 3-6. Yeah, that was supposed to be a drum roll there. And that's clapping. That's not a drum roll, but I appreciate the clapping for the 6 tips from 3-6. Let's talk about setting goals, people. Setting goals gives you a sense of direction and like purpose and achievement. It's about turning your dreams into an actionable steps to create the life you envision. See, Quitter's Day was just the other day. I think it was January 19th. January 19th, by the third week in January, that's what it's National Quitter's Day. Most people give up. Most people give up those New Year's resolutions. They chuck those daggone vision boards. They say, the heck with that. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. So it's literally Quitter's Day. Okay. But here's the thing. 64% of people are done by February 1st. 64% are just like, just the heck with it. I'm going to wait for next January. Okay. Only 9% of people report that they achieve those goals that they set out at the beginning of the year. Only 9%. I want to make that number higher this year. So I've got some ways that I think that we can do that together. Actionable steps for setting goals. Here's your first one. Define your vision. Identify what you truly want in different areas of your life. Like, break all the areas of your life down: work and personal, relationship, health goals, right? Break them down. Be as finite as you possibly can and create as many categories as possible. Then 2, ensure that your goals are specific and measurable and actually achievable. Now, I used to say, don't go crazy. Don't go saying, I could be the president of the United States. That's my goal. And you can't pass civics. But you know, I don't think you need to worry about that one anymore. Anybody can be the president of the United States. Okay. Okay, see what I did there. Anyway, let's get back to this. So make sure, number 2, that you set your SMART goals. Ensure that they are specific, measurable, and achievable. I'll talk a little bit more about that as I break this down, because 3 is write them down. I want you to write those goals down. Putting goals on paper increases your commitment. Journal them. And sometimes that journal is super powerful, because after you write those goals down, and if you keep journaling about those goals and you're having a bad day, turn those pages backwards and you go, wow, I've come a long way. I have achieved some things, and it can fuel you to continue to keep going for those goals. So 4 is break them down into steps. Divide larger goals into smaller, actionable tasks. Okay. Don't try to take on too much, because you're going to fail. And then you're just going to be like, oh, never mind. And you're going to feel like you want to give up. And 5, track your progress regularly. Review and adjust your goals as needed. And 6, celebrate milestones. Listen, you better celebrate you. Okay. This also trains other people how to celebrate you. If you like to throw yourself a party, throw yourself a party. If you want to take yourself on a shopping spree, whatever that is, take care of you. Okay. Celebrate those things. So your 6 tips from 3-6 again for actionable steps for setting goals. 1, define your vision. 2, set SMART goals. 3, write them down. 4, break them into steps. 5, track your progress. And 6, celebrate those milestones. Wanted to make sure you had some resources also to kind of help you along this journey here. And so check out a book, Atomic Habits by James Clear, and The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Podcasts you can listen to other than The Huddle with Mo and Lo, Mindbender, and one of my all-time favorites, not because I've been a guest on their show, Limitless Minds podcast, hosted by Harry Wilson and DJ Edison. Both are Believe Podcast Network shows, so make sure you check those out, especially Limitless Minds podcast. An article you can read is The Science of Goal Setting, and a show that I love to watch that really keeps me like pumped up and engaged in, my goals and where I want to be, and just kind of watching other people thrive and succeed and seeing it kind of materialize. Shark Tank, baby. It starts with an idea, and then people have vision and they put a lot of effort and work to it, and then they end up on Shark Tank, and somebody ends up giving them millions of dollars believing in them. So Shark Tank, if you having a bad day, put on Shark Tank and it will fuel you to say, yeah, I can do it. I can do it. So there you go. 6 tips from 3-6. All right. Thank you for that. Now, let's do a little sports recap. I'm super excited this weekend, man. My Commanders are heading to the Super Bowl. That's right. I said what I said. We're going to the Super Bowl. Okay. So not yet, but I believe that we will get there. We just have to go through Philly first. This weekend's NFC Championship game will be exciting. It's going to be super exciting. We get to watch Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin do what they have been doing all season long, and that's make magic through their connections, right? They make things happen on the field, baby. The Commanders are going to travel to Philadelphia for the second time this season to take on the Eagles in the NFC Championship. The two teams split their regular season matchups in the playoffs. And in the playoffs, all-time Washington is 25-20 in playoff games, 10-13 all-time in road playoff matchups, 5-1 all-time in conference championships, 3-2 all-time NFC East opponents. So this is going to be a tough one, right? This one's going to be a tough one. But here's the thing. We're 1-0 all time against Philadelphia in the playoffs, with their last matchup coming in 1990 wild card round. 1990. Whoa. Like, how long ago was that? Like, I was just graduating high school. Okay. Washington's 45-31 win over the Lions was the first win in the divisional round since the 1991 season. And check this out. Washington's 45 points against the Lions are the second most all-time in franchise history in a single postseason game. So Washington has won 2 road playoff games in single postseason for the first time in franchise history. So things are happening in Washington with this team that haven't happened in a long, did I say it again? Long time, right? Like 2 name changes ago. I need a Super Bowl win. We deserve one, and it's been a long time. So I can't think of a better way. Like Super Bowl, Commanders, Kendrick Lamar, SZA sounds like a perfect day in February to me. The DMV needs this win. Speaking of DMV, During the recent NFL playoff game between the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills, Ravens tight end Mark Andrews missed a catch that would have tied the game in its final moments. And as we now know, the Bills went on to win, eliminating the Ravens from their Super Bowl run. Now, here's the thing, though. Some Ravens fans were upset with Andrews' fumble and began posting negative comments online about him. I mean, they just went in, just started straight dogging him, like on all social media platforms. There was a call to fire him for money, for him to pay back money. I mean, it just got it absolutely ridiculous. Now, here's the thing, though. The flip side of that is the Bills' devoted fan base, I think affectionately known as the Bills Mafia, they stepped up and responded with kindness. There was a GoFundMe page that was set up in honor of Mark Andrews' charity of choice, which is Breakthrough T1D. I think that's what it is. And they did a fundraiser, and that fundraiser has brought more than $90,000 in donations. And that number continues to rise. Mark we finally heard from him. He finally spoke out regarding the drop pass that ended the Ravens Super Bowl hopes, saying it's hard to articulate how he's been feeling in the days following the game, but one thing's for sure, he will use the experience to get better. The longtime Baltimore tight end broke his silence on social media with a Super Bowl long post, and it was long, people, and it was clear that he's heartbroken. His words included, "I'm absolutely gutted by what happened on Sunday. I'm devastated for my teammates, my coaches, and Ravens fans. I pour every ounce of my being into playing at the highest level possible because I love my team and the game of football like nothing else." With all that being said, Andrews explained that what's kept him from speaking on the matter sooner is that he just needed some time. He really needed to collect his thought. And I'm sure that little hateful messages weren't helping either, right? He went on to say that the shock and disappointment he's experiencing is unlike any feeling he's ever had before, but he won't let it ruin his life. Yeah, he says, and I quote, "I promise that this adversity will only make me stronger and fuel us as we move forward." He also thanked fans for their support of his charity choice and said he is still getting love from his teammates, saying, "Even when the moment seems darkest, perspective can reveal that there's still a lot of light in this world. I'm now going to do my part to bounce back and contribute to it." Tough loss, man. That was a hard one to watch. You know, I'm a Commanders fan, but born and raised in Maryland, and so I'm also a Ravens fan when the Commanders are out, which means that I've been a Ravens fan also for a long time because Commanders just got. Anyway, we don't need to belabor that. What I think we can take from this, though, the little advice here from Mark is that difficult days are guaranteed in life, people. All you can do is acknowledge it, make a plan, set a goal, hold yourself accountable, and compete again at a higher level. And real competitors know how to get back up. So thanks, Mark, for the reminder. Good advice for us to heed. And I think he will be back stronger than ever. And let's support him. Here's the thing. When you lose a game, it's never on one person. I know it can look like that. It can. And should he have caught it? Hit your hands. We know the rules. It was catchable. Yeah. But why were the Ravens in a position where they had to have that ball caught? And that's the thing that true champions and true athletes really understand and know. Everybody's going back and watching film and figuring out what can they do? What could they have done 1% better that wouldn't have put Mark in that position? So I think there's a lot of things to take from that. A lot of good advice nuggets throughout that entire situation. Speaking of advice, we got two letters, actually. I don't know if we're going to have time for both, but I know one of them I want to get to. I wish Lois was here. We get her feedback on this one. But what I want you all to do is when you hear this episode, respond on all of our social media platforms with advice, because we know that the person that wrote these two letters, they're going to listen to the show, and therefore they're going to follow us, and they'll also then see what advice you give them on top of what I'm going to give them, because I ain't nobody's therapist over here, but I'm going to tell you what I think. So here we go. Dear Mo and Lo, I've always dreamed of working in a specific industry, and I've spent years preparing for the perfect opportunity. Recently, a job opened up, and I confided in my best friend about how much I wanted it. Imagine my shock when they applied for the same position and got it. What? Oh, no, they didn't. They knew how much this meant to me. Now I feel betrayed, and I can't look at them the same way. Am I being too sensitive, or should I confront them? Sincerely, dreams deferred. Oh, hell no. No. See, here's my thing. Is this a friend? Is this a friend, really, truly? Because I don't know about you, but with my friends, I tell them what I'm interested in. We talk about things. And so I would have said, if the person came to me and said, "Oh, this is a job I want, Monica. Did you see it?" I would be like, "Girl, I saw it too. And I applied for it also." Because shoot, that money is too good to say no to. But I would be open, have dialogue about that, right? You don't own the job opening. But I do find it weird and funny that you mentioned this to your friend. And it seems like from the information we have here in the letter that they kind of went behind your back or didn't disclose to you that they were also applying for the job. Because you kind of, from the letter here, you found out that they got the job kind of after the fact. That's cruddy buddy right there. That's a cruddy buddy. That ain't no real friend. That's cruddy buddy right there. I would absolutely confront them. And if you are not a confrontational person, right? So let me give you two ways. If you're a confrontational person, you walk up to them and say, "What the heck is wrong with you? Why didn't you tell me you were going for the job? Like, I can't believe you did this." If you're not a confrontational person, let me give you some verbiage here, the way to approach this so that you still can get the answers that you so desperately need. I would just go over to them and say, "Hey, I just want to talk to you about something. This kind of, upset me a little bit. And I just want to make sure things are good with us because I shared with you that I wanted that job. And it kind of seems like, in that moment, you should have said to me, 'Oh, I'm applying for it also.' And I just want to know, because I value our friendship and our relationship, why you didn't feel comfortable telling me that." And just take the top lip and bottom lip, smush them together and see what they say. Here's what I think will happen. After that, they're going to say one of two things. They're going to say, "Well, it's none of your business what I apply for." Then we know you stay in cruddy buddy land, right? Because you weren't really friends. Y'all weren't like that anyway then, okay? Or they'll say, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know how to tell you." Or, "I had already applied for it, but the way that when you brought it up to me, you sounded so excited. I didn't think I was going to get the job anyway, so I just didn't want to bring it up." Either way, they're giving you more information than you have right now. Now you're left to assume that they are just cruddy buddy without knowing any other information. So my thing is, take some of the sting out of the word confront them. Like, you don't have to be super confrontational. Think about it more as trying to find the answer for why they did what they did. Either way, you're going to walk away with the answer that you need. And that's better than being clueless about this. So it's either going to rebuild your friendship because you're going to have some information that you now know, "Oh, okay, I can understand that." Or you can go and keep moving, tell them to kick all the rocks that they see on their way out the door, because you don't need a friend like that in your life, somebody that would do that. So that's what I would do. You're going to have to wait and see what the listeners think about this and what they think you should do on that. Here's the next one here. And then we'll get into some other stuff here. Let's see. "Hi, Molo. I've been with my partner for 3 years and we're talking about marriage. The problem: their family is super traditional and insists that I quit my job to be a stay at home spouse after we get married. I love my career and I have worked hard to get where I am. My partner says they don't agree with their family but won't stand up to them. Is this a red flag? Yours truly, career over compromise." This ain't not no compromise. You better make your own money. The way people are out here tripping today, it gets you home and get you all trapped up. And no, I say that is the family paying y'all's bills? Okay. Is the family watching the children? Listen, no, you do you. You do you. And I also think it is a time, I wouldn't say red flag, but maybe like light pink, that your partner isn't standing up for you in front of his family. Because if it's something like this now, it's only going to increase. So I would also make some kind of demands. Like, the next time you say to your partner, the next time your mama says that, next time your daddy says that, this is how I would like for you to respond. Maybe they don't have the language, so give them the language and then sit there. And when it happens again, you just turn your head to the left or turn your head to the right, wherever they're sitting. Okay. And then you look at them with your mouth closed, expecting them to regurgitate that language that you gave them on the way there in the car. They need to be standing up for you. This is and tell them that you are. Why would you marry someone who doesn't have the ability to fight for you, to stand up for you? Like, yeah. So that pink flag is really giving some red vibes to it. So get that under control quickly. I most certainly would. Here's the thing. If you said this in this letter, you can't wait to stay home. I think there's value in staying home. Don't get me wrong, right? I completely understand that. But from this, you don't want to stay home. And so what starts to happen then is you give up this. And then what's next that you give up? And then you give up something else. And now you're going to be even resentful. Then you're going to start resenting them little bad kids that y'all going to be start reproducing. And it's a slippery slope. So I say handle that little pink flag right now. Right now. Handle that pink flag before it turns in red. That's my advice. But again, you're going to have to check in on our socials to see what other people are saying. So more advice, please send more advice for a career over compromise and send more advice for dreams deferred. All right. So that's all I can do there. Listen, I want to leave y'all here with some jokes, right? Because that's what we do. It's joke time. Laughing is medicine, people. Like, I try to laugh all day long. Laughing is incredibly beneficial for your mental, emotional, physical well-being. In fact, a study found that people with a strong sense of humor live an average of 8 years longer than those who don't. Say what? Yeah. And check this out. Laughing, you can burn calories. Laughing for 10 to 15 minutes can burn about 40 calories. Now, I don't know. I should be skinny. I should have ribs sticking through the way I'd be laughing, but okay. So let me get in this. Let me get out of here, but let me help y'all live a little longer. I got some jokes for you. Now, normally when Lois is here, we do this joke battle thing, and then we let you all decide, or Shane, our producer, decide who won the joke round. So clearly I'm going to win this one, but even if she was here, I'd win it too. So we ain't even got to worry about that, but get your laugh on. How does a penguin build its house? Let me tell you how it builds its house. You ready? It glues it together. It glues it together. It glues it. You get it? It glues it. Okay. Yeah. That was funny. Okay. What about this one? What kind of shoes do ninjas wear? What kind of shoes do ninjas wear? Sneakers. Yeah. Thank you. Sneak, like they sneak around. Okay, sneakers. Last one, party peeps, but get your laugh on right here. Here we go. This one, I know you. If you're driving, pull over. I don't want you to wreck, okay? Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Are you ready? You're not ready. I don't think you're ready. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. He was outstanding in his field. Outstanding in his field. Okay. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Keep laughing, party peeps. Thanks for tuning in to the Huddle with Mo and Lo. We hope you're leaving with an extra bit of motivation, some fresh perspectives, and a whole lot of inspiration. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay driven, stay inspired, and remember, the game of life is yours to win. We'll see you next week in the Huddle. Peace.